My name is Tim Ritchie. I am the CEO of Detroit Pals, and it's my pleasure to welcome you here to Detroit Pals 2013 Football Championships. How's everybody feel? Pretty good? As you know, we are all about building character at Detroit Pals, so we thank all of you parents and all you volunteers for the great job that you do. We also are very grateful for the support of the Detroit Police Department. I am very happy to have a special guest with us today that I've asked to come and say a few words to you all. So please give a warm welcome to our new Chief of Police in the City of Detroit, Chief James Gray. I love Detroit. Listen, we love Detroit. You know, I gotta tell you, it's wonderful being back in the city of Detroit. You know, I started as a police officer here many years ago, and the one thing that I took away was the Police Athletic League. After I left, moved on to Los Angeles, we started a PAL for the first time in LA. Believe it or not, there was no PAL. We had soccer PAL, we had a little baseball PAL, but I want to say one thing. To all the volunteers, thank you. Thank you and thank you more. Let's give yourself a round of applause. As we continue to move forward and make Detroit one of the safest cities in America, we can only do it through your support and your help. I commend all the men. I'm a little biased, but all the men in Detroit that volunteer and give back to support our young community and the ladies. I just want to say thank you for your efforts, and we're going to get this done. I want to see PAL go to the next level, because I know only then, this is what we need to talk about when we talk about the city of Detroit. So again, thank you, and let's have a great day. All right, let's play some ball.
Yeah, the difference in Detroit PAL is that the focus truly is on character building. And so in other organizations in high school, our focus has been primarily on winning and attaining scholarships for kids, with some focus on character building. But at Detroit PAL, we really focus on the citizenship, the teamwork, the relationship building, and building opportunities for kids far beyond athletics.
It's more like a family to me than just, an organization and a team. It's a family. Everyone comes together for the children. So my son, it's been a good learning experience for him.
I feel as though being in PAL helps my son out and plays a huge role in his life overall, because Detroit is going through a lot of things criminal-wise right now. So at this point, it lets my son know that it's more about life than that. It's not just about crime and the killing and the shooting. It gives him hopes and dreams to let him know that you can make it out of Detroit. You can grow up and be something. The mentors there are great. All the men that's on his team, the coaches, they are very good role models. Love them to death. Like, they actually show, my son so much is what a real man is, as opposed to fathers who are not there. They're father figures for kids when they don't have them. And they're showing them, you go to work, you take care of kids, you be a dad. Coach Chris' son is at the games with him, showing them that, dads are still around, dads still care. And I feel as though it's giving my son a great experience with knowing that, it's more than Detroit than killing. It is guys who care.
I have been a coach for Detroit PAL for 12 years. The reason I decided to become a football coach in PAL, I was a senior in high school, and I had a conversation with my high school coach at the time, who was also my Little League coach. And he told me on a recruiting trip, he said, son, you have a gift. Coaching is a gift. It's a special talent, and it's in you to give back. When you get older, when you get done playing, you need to reach out and do what others have done for you. That stuck with me. And at that moment, actually, I decided that I would coach Little League football whenever I was done. So when I got finished playing in college and finished school and came home, that was the first thing on my agenda.
Coach Chris, he was like my favorite coach. As soon as the first day I started practicing, he was like my favorite coach, and I wanted to stay on this team for however long I could.
The impact it has on my child's life, he's the only child and he doesn't really interact with a lot of children, so this has given him a chance to interact a lot. he gets a chance to be around good male role models and experience a lot of good things going on with the Tiger organization and the PAL organization. So it's helped him out a lot. It's helped him to be more open and out.
It feels good because I know that I am safe and won't nobody try to hurt me.
Coach Chris is first of all, he's a great motivational speaker. The way he speaks to the boys helps them a lot.
When I first came to PAL, my president, she wasn't my president at the time, Lona Council, she told me something that I've always remembered. She said, kids don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And that just stuck with me, and I understood that I had to build a rapport with them. And once I do that, they'll do anything for me. They'll believe in everything that I tell them.
I feel safe because it's like I got a whole team. I'm not just by myself.
I actually chose PAL because of Coach Chris, because we actually grew up together. We went to the same school together, and I don't really trust my kid around a lot of people. And the comfort level was there, just the fact that I knew him, and I felt like my son would be in great hands being with Coach Chris. I definitely can see a change in my son since he started with PAL football, primarily because he was a typical kid in the house with video games, and now he's more interested in going outside and throwing the ball and trying to get better in his sport, as opposed to playing video games. That was really not working for me. So it's definitely a change in his life. He's become more active outside, which I love.
Over the years, I've been doing this 12 years, and the kids from 2000, the first year I coached, those guys are in college now, and I still talk to them, email, phone call. Some of them are in the stands today. Those guys, I just stick with them.
Parental involvement is very important because it's important as parents to be involved with our children, because if they see that we care and they get more into it. I'm involved with everything my son does. Anything from school to sports, I'm there, I volunteer. We do it all together. My son knows education is number one. So he's a scholar there, so I get him involved in sports, keeps him busy, keeps him out of trouble, and if the parents show that they care, the kids will show that they care even more.
I started coaching in this league at 19, and you won't find a lot of 19-year-old head coaches in this league. So at 19, my peers were still running the streets and hanging out, and coaching in Little League football, my commitment was to the kids, and I made that commitment early. So I didn't have time to run the streets with my friends, and they kept me out of trouble. So what I get from coaching the kids and spending time with them is just as good for me as it is for them. So it's just as beneficial. To get more volunteers in PAL, and I think the volunteers that we do have need to reflect positivity on the community, and the people that ask about PAL, and especially the people that watch the news and complain about the things that they read about our youth and things like that. If you want to help, all you got to do is simply volunteer your time. Show up and help out, because the complaining isn't working, and that's one reason why it's hard for me to walk away as a volunteer. I have my own kids, but I have to take time to give back because it was done for me.
I just want to thank the whole PAL organization. I definitely want to shout out my coaches, Coach Chris, Coach Posey, Coach Tone, Coach Vaughn, DJ, all of them, just to let them know that, my family really appreciates them, and we love everything that they do for our children. And thanks for being real stand-up men. We appreciate it.
I like to encourage everybody out there who wants to contribute to the rebuilding of the city and bettering our city's youth, to come out and volunteer a couple hours of your time. It starts with the youth. So if you have 1 hour a day free, or if it's 5 hours a week, come out. These kids need it. They'll appreciate it, and you will too in the long run.